everyone, and welcome to Ringside Rhetoric. I am your co-host, Charmaine.
And I am DJ Steele.
DJ Steele,
right,
and today we have Chandra Cleveland-Jennings. I was correct this
That's
time.
right. She did not mess up the name today.
This is a very important subject that is near and dear to my heart. So, Chandra, would you tell our viewers a little bit about yourself?
Well, wait a minute. Can you tell them what the subject is, though?
Backtrack, rewind. Today,
we're talking about human trafficking.
Yes, very, very important subject.
And it's something that's not as known as it should be. Mm-hmm. So we're going to go ahead and get into it now.
Okay. Yes. I am Chandra Cleveland-Jennings, investigator, and I am an international ambassador for Shared Hope International, which is an ambassador who trains people in sex trafficking and what to do and also how you can get involved.
All right. Wow.
And how did you get involved in that?
Ooh, well.
Tell us a little story.
2007. And I know everybody's like, oh, we didn't hear about sex trafficking. And a lot of people on social media tell me I didn't know about sex trafficking until we saw your website and saw you on social media.
I admit, I'm one.
So it was in 2007. I had a young lady come to my office. I was auditioning for a evening time secretary.
Okay.
And so I needed someone in the evening time, and she came, and the outfit she was wearing showed everything and her zip code.
Oh, wow.
So my secretary at the time said, oh my gosh, there's a girl out there says she want to be a secretary. And I said, save her for last. And at the last part, I called her in and I talked to her. And I said, what made you wear what you're wearing today?
Oh, wow.
And she looked at me and her eyes sort of watered up. And she said, this is the best that I had.
Ooh.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
And I took a deep breath because I knew I was preparing myself for something
was
more.
wrong. Wow.
Something more, but I had no idea how much more it was. So when I said that, and I said, this is all you have? And she said, yes. And I said, why? When I said why, tears started just dropping.
Oh, wow.
Dropping from her eyes. And I said, it's okay. It's okay. You know, I can help you. I can get you more. So I let her settle down a little bit, and she said, you don't know what hell I've been going through for 6 months. And I said, no, but I want you to tell me because I am here to help you.
That was so good.
And so she told me, and my eyes started watering, and of course I hugged her, and I said, you don't have to go back. I got you. And she was bought down here by a military guy at Fort Jackson. She was bought from another military place where she met this guy when she was 16. He told her that she could be emancipated. Her father and mother were pastors. So he was taking her out of her environment, telling her that he loved her, that he's going to marry her, took her out of the parents' house before she turned 17.
Oh, wow.
She turned 17 the month that she got here. And he set her in a hotel at that point in time and told her the real reason why she was there. He introduced her to another guy and said, this is the guy who will be your doorkeeper. And she sat him in a hotel that he took bookings all day long. And that guy next door was the one who came and unlocked the door for people to go in and locked the door when they came out.
Wow.
And she didn't want to do it anymore, and she wanted another job, so she knew she had to get a job. So that's when she came to me, and I helped her get out.
I'm a little cringe right now. So did the parents approve?
No. This guy did his coercion, Romeo-tizing her, getting her to leave home, stay out. Parents was trying to do everything that they could to keep her there and telling her this guy means her no good. This was the first guy who said he loved her, who said she was beautiful because,
viewers,
we have to know as pastors and as a father, you should be the first person that tells your daughter she's beautiful.
Exactly.
You should be the first person to tell your daughter she's
viewers,
worth it.
Listen, please.
Yeah. So it was that, and the father never did, but the reunion of me getting her back to Kansas was amazing. Her parents where she was thinking, I'm dirty. They don't want me anymore. I don't want to tell them what I've been through and all of that. And I say, I say to a lot of people, you can't be free until you face your situation.
Right.
You have to face what that fear is that you thinking other people will judge you.
Yes.
Right.
Because there's nothing that happened in this world that it only happened to you.
Exactly.
So what happened to the guy? Did he go to jail?
Oh, don't even have me to go in there.
Oh.
Well, of course, we didn't know that it was sex trafficking
At that time.
And the state in which he came from, he did get the emancipation paperwork. So all they could charge him with is being incorrigible. And and with that said, they didn't even give him that because he was an officer.
What?
And so he got a little slap on the wrist. Yes. He got a slap on the wrist, and I brought her in, and I got her back at home.
Wow.
And that was in 2007. And then something else happened. Another young girl who was missing, and parents were saying she was missing. And when I found her and got her back here, she was telling me that she was in a hotel, and she probably slept with about 40 guys that she was counting, and they didn't let her go to sleep, and they were punching her, they were slapping her in her face to wake her up. Then the guy was like, he bust her lip or something, she said, and the other guy said, man, you're going to have to stop hitting her in her face. And so they punched her thighs. So she had all these contusions on her thighs where they were punching her, telling her to stay away.
So isn't that like almost prostitution?
Yeah,
like running a prostitution?
Yeah, what's the difference between prostitution and human trafficking?
The difference, I'm glad you asked that, because a lot of people get it twisted.
Yeah.
Sex trafficking is from a person who cannot give consent. Domestic minor sex trafficking means that the person is under the age of 17.
Okay.
Some states 18. And you get them to do sexual favors for money, and you move them from hotel to hotel. Sex trafficking is not a thing you have to go from state to state. And everybody think that there can be no movement and it's still sex trafficking because of you selling a young person.
Wow.
So it's happening here.
Especially a minor. I mean.
And they like them younger and younger. So the younger they are, the higher a cost of charging you can get for that young person.
What's the youngest case that you have?
12. 12. And she had just turned 12 2 weeks before.
So do they I'm trying to figure out, especially with a 12-year-old, because I really want our viewers to listen, especially our parents out there that do have young girls. How do they
trick them?
Exactly. To come and get into their
It is something that now as an adult I understand because my mom always told me, and she was just so hard. It was 6 girls and one boy.
Okay.
And she always said, don't bring anything into this house that I did not buy. These young girls are getting things and gifts from these guys. When they give them that, it's like, oh, he loves me. Yes. He's buying this for me. He tells you he's going to take care of me.
I get it.
Right.
It's
so when they do that,
they play on material things.
Exactly. And parents don't ask anymore, where'd you get that from? I didn't buy that. How'd you get that? My sister one time bought something in, y'all. It was a bubblegum machine ring, and she had it on her finger. My mom lost it. Where did you get that from? Who gave it to you? What did I tell you about taking stuff from somebody? Get her on the phone and her mama. Don't you ever give her. And the lady was like, it was a bubblegum machine ring.
That's not the point.
She was like, it's not the point.
Yeah.
I didn't buy it. She didn't ask me if she could have it. And if you would have said she stole it, we would have been in a whole different situation.
Exactly.
So I just don't know how a parent don't question things, especially big item things like gold necklaces, tennis shoes, clothing,
expensive tennis shoes.
Exactly. Yeah.
So how about social media? Are they attracting through social media? Websites. I think I was listening to the Breakfast Club, and they were talking about a website called Backpack.
Yeah,
Back Pages, but I think that was for more prostitution. If I'm
No.
Okay,
that's where everything.
That's where everything.
Okay, listen, viewers. State that again.
Back Pages.
Back Pages. Please
Yes.
listen. Please listen.
Back Pages. And I am glad to say I did a presentation the other night in South Congaree for all the church community.
Okay.
And my opening presentation was, now when you pull up Back Pages, it says Back Pages have been seized by the federal government.
Woo.
They cannot do anything.
Yes.
And that just happened last week on the 8th of April.
God. How long have they been in existence?
Oh my gosh.
Because I heard that the guy made
wow.
so much money.
So that's not the only site though, because Craigslist is the same way.
Oh yeah.
Oh, wow.
And it's easier social media pages, and I tell people, yes, I'm out here talking about sex trafficking and trying to get people to notice it, but guess what the predators are doing? When you think you're getting everybody acclimated to one, they change it into something else.
Oh my God.
So now what's really going on is young girls doing sexual exploitation. And that means taking inappropriate pictures because the guy asked them for them. And so I don't know if you saw the segment with me being on television last month, right after the Kershaw County exposed all the girls who were naked, that were high school and middle school girls, pictures that they were able to capture from the sports
viewers,
brand.
please.
So,
okay, so what we're going to do right now, we're going to take a little break.
Yes. We're going to take a little break. And we're gonna come back. We're gonna come back. We want to get more into the social media aspect of this human trafficking and things of that nature.
And we're gonna actually define human trafficking.
Yes.
All right, so we'll be right back.
Hello, this is Miss Charmaine of Ringside Rhetoric.
And I am DJ Steele.
If you would like to be a sponsor of our show, you may go to our website at www.ringsiderhetoric.com and click on our advertising link to view the sponsorship packages.
Also, if you would like to purchase any Ringside Rhetoric merchandise, please click on the shop link on our website. And thank you once again for your support. Welcome back to Ringside Rhetoric. We are here with Miss Chandra Jennings. Cleveland, I'm sorry. See, I took your name. Chandra Cleveland-Jennings. And we're talking about human trafficking. So would you please explain to our viewers exactly what human trafficking is?
One more time.
Human trafficking is domestic minor sex trafficking. That means a person that's under the ages of 18 is what they usually say.
Under
the age of 18 that is used to sell their body by force, coercion, or any other tactic in order to get them to comply or not comply. But you're using a young person under the age for sex and selling their bodies.
So is there a difference between human trafficking and sex trafficking, or is this the same
yes,
thing?
it is. Human trafficking is when you take a lot of people and you sort of smuggle them in order to do something else. Like some of them may be older than 18, they may be 34 or
like
whatever the case.
Taken.
Right, and they may be college students, 21, 24, and you smuggle them in, and they're not supposed to be bought into the United States.
So almost like illegal immigrants.
Exactly, and the ones that those people have them as nannies or maids or field hands or butlers.
And they pay them under the table.
And they pay them under the table.
I did not know that. Wow.
And it's called also labor trafficking.
Yeah.
The human trafficking is three different kinds of human trafficking or trafficking, so to speak.
Okay. So have you ever came across a case where a parent was...
Girl. Yes.
Well, she used the other word.
Yes,
the other word.
This is not a laughing matter, but have you
not.
ever came across
It's
that?
not. It is now so much more prevalent that most of the time in this community or this area, it's usually a family member that is trafficking another young girl within their community. I'm going to tell you about one in particular that just happened last year and 3 years ago. The young girl was at home alone at night. Mom worked from 11 to 7.
Yeah.
The cousin called her and said, come go to a party with me. The cousin picked her up, took to her party, and he did all of this of selling his cousin or getting his cousin for these guys because he wanted some tennis shoes, some Jordans that were coming out on that Saturday. So he took her to the party, let the guys get her, and she had been missing for 7 days. And she was eventually found in the area, but she had been trafficked, and she told us all about all the horrible things that happened to her. And it was some vacant apartments, and I don't know if you follow me on social media, but I put out before about if you know any abandoned houses and that young people hang around there. She said she was sold in apartment complex in the area. She was sold in abandoned houses in the area, and then finally when we got her, she was at a hotel being sold by another
I'm sure
guy.
she was traumatized.
Wow.
Definitely.
You know, and how old was she?
She was 14.
Okay.
Okay, see, this bothers me because
Yes.
I have a 12-year-old daughter.
Yeah, and I have nieces, and
That's
very disturbing.
Yes.
okay. My question: the guys that actually participate in it, not the ones selling, but I guess the clients.
The Johns.
What happened to them? What I mean, isn't that some kind of criminal?
Even if she's able to identify.
Not enough.
Okay.
Not enough. There's not many times that they've been able to get the Johns who actually come in and have sex with the girls. And, you know, they're trying to do that now through social media. They'll set up that you're talking to a 14-year-old girl, and they'll go ahead and get you that way. But not enough efforts are being done to actually get the other people who came in before someone else or anything like that.
Wow. Okay. Very disturbing. So what are some of the signs that parents should be, state that again, should be looking for? Well, go back. Is there only girls that are being sex trafficking or human trafficking?
No.
Are there young boys?
There are young boys also.
Okay.
Do you remember last year during school time in the fall that little boys kept saying somebody tried to get me, a lady tried to get me in the car? And they were trying to get in the Broad River area. Is where this took place.
I remember that.
And so the little boys were trying to give descriptions, and they were giving 2 different descriptions, and they couldn't really get what it was.
Yes.
But finally, an adult saw the attempted abduction and was able to describe the lady who was trying to get little boys. But yes, boys are wanted too. And I don't know if you know about Jared, the Subway guy. He was into little boys, and there are other guys and other people, whatever they are. I don't know if they're guys or what, maggots. But anyway, wanting little boys.
Yes.
So no, it does happen to young boys as well.
So this is not only little girls or young girls. These are, after our young men and
It's
a young boy.
Period.
Children, period. It's very disturbing. A lot of praying. A lot of praying for our kids. And we really, viewers, we really wanted to talk about this because it is really a huge issue. We don't, I know there are other things that we talk about, other crimes, as far as drugs, domestic violence, and all those things. They are serious as well. But we really wanted to touch on the human trafficking, the sex trafficking, because it's our kids. They are the next generation. And if we're not, as a community, taking care of them, then who else will? So we have to continue to be that village.
Yeah, this is something that's not very known. It's been out there for a long time, but not many people know about it. They don't know the signs. They don't know what they do or where they do it.
Or who to go to at some point,
That's a really big key,
you
guys.
please touch on that.
The who. Because these people who are doing this or your child's coach who's been in coaching for 18 years, and you as a parent say, no, you need to stay with them. The child come home and say, Mom, I don't really like him.
Pay attention.
And mom's like, girl, listen, this coach has been award-winning, for 12 years, and you're going to stay with that coach. And you force your daughter into something where she shouldn't be, or you force your son to be with someone he shouldn't be.
Right.
So pay attention to the surroundings that your kids are around. Like she said, it could be the coach or
the pastor.
Pastor,
It could be your next door neighbor. It could be
family
your
members.
Deacon. It could be
family
like
members.
In my presentation, I show a prosecutor, a law enforcement officer, soccer coach of the year, and a pilot. The pilot, he just got off in November. He was sex trafficking girls from one part of the country to the other.
Is this true?
Yeah.
Oh my God. When she said presentation, I was just thinking
in my presentation, I show everybody all of these cases where to show you it's not just a bum on the street that you're thinking dressed like a gigolo trying to get your kids. No.
Because it's a high dollar amount. There's a lot of money involved. So kind of let's, explain that you said the younger the better. So what are some of the price ranges, if you know, that some of these guys are trafficking these kids at? Like you said, 12. So,
let me tell you, there's some of them that's being trafficked for $80.
What?
$80 is the local standard of here, but overseas and different places buying them from state to state, it can be anywhere from 12,000, 8,000. It just depends on the bid.
Really?
This is why it's such a hot commodity. This is why it got to $300 billion industry.
Yes.
Because they can go for really high, but people don't understand when it's happening in your community, the prices are much lower. They keep selling that product at that $80 range, or whatever the case may be, and your daughter or your child is just out there. This is why I have a program called It's On Me Too.
Please explain.
And the
program.
IT stands for I Think Safety on Me Too. And it's for 5-year-olds on up to corporate America. The little boys that were attempted abducted the other year, if they would have known how to give a perfect description, this is what I teach young kids. What did they look like? You have someone in your class every day. Describe her to me. So I go through different scenarios like that. You would be amazed how your kids get colors mixed up. They get size and height mixed up. And these are things that we have to work with our kids on, because it could be very important as to.
But adults do the same thing.
Exactly. They do. So that's why I say it goes from 5-year-olds all the way up to corporate America. Because the main ones, we're sitting in there and I'm standing up there the whole time, and I move to the back of the room and I tell one person at a time, stand up and describe me. They got the color wrong, they didn't get the shoes right, my hair wasn't right, they didn't talk about the necklace, they didn't talk about the tattoo that I purposely usually draw on my hand to make sure they know this is one thing that they couldn't take off of me.
Right.
They could take off my clothes, and you would have been looking for someone with red dress, yellow dress, but she had a tattoo on her left arm.
Wow. So are these abductors, they getting bold by just taking kids in public where,
Girl, I tell parents all the time, do not leave your child on one aisle while you're shopping on another aisle.
So when I have my nieces, a lot to the hip.
That's it.
I'm just saying.
And that's the way it should be. But they let them walk around. They let them lag behind them. And by the time you walk halfway down the aisle, a man has just clenched his hand over your child's mouth and taken her the opposite way. Now, they're being really good now with store video cameras.
Thank God.
That you would be able to know something. But who wants their child gone anyway?
Exactly.
I mean, I just talked to many people about, she's 9. She can go to the bathroom by herself. No, you sure can. And so, the other episode that happened in McDonald's, the 2 boys went to the bathroom together, but one got snatched in a stall and was abused, and the other one said, I didn't see Johnny when I came out the bathroom. Dad's like, what? Went in there, the child had been sexually molested by a a homeless man that was in the bathroom waiting for a child to come in.
All right, so we're going to take another quick break.
And we're going to come back to recap, and
we're going to actually talk about some of the programs you can get involved in if you know about these things, know about the sex trafficking. Some of the programs, I'm all broke up right now.
Yes, oh God.
We'll be right back.
Yes.
Let Ringside Rhetoric help your upstart or even your established business get noticed even more than it already is. Go to ringsiderhetoric.com and check out our very, very, very reasonable advertisement packages. Depending on your package choice, you'll get multiple commercials during our podcast as well as a banner spot on the website. Again, go to ringsiderhetoric.com, click on the advertisement link, and let us help you grow your business.
Welcome back to Ringside Rhetoric. We are here today talking about human trafficking. We have Miss
Chandra Cleveland-Jennings.
Okay.
Wrong again.
Okay, Chandra Cleveland-Jennings.
Yes. See, he always picking at me about mixing up names, but it's all love. It's all love.
I know who y'all talking.
So today we're talking about a very serious topic. Human trafficking,
sex trafficking,
and sex trafficking. Very disturbing. But we have someone that's experienced, who has been, doing this since 2007.
She's about to tell us some programs that actually will help you know the signs and help you get through it if you've been through it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I work with a lot of students. I have high school students that are junior ambassadors. That means if they know about sex trafficking or they know that a friend may be sex trafficking, I train them on what to look for, what are some of the things that they do, and how they can offer that person that they know help. I take them to bigger conferences with me. I let them talk to the audience on what they know about sex trafficking and how they decided to get involved in it and how many cases they have been able to help me on.
Oh, wow.
I think it's very, very important that they're able to help. And if the victims say that they can come and sit in, I let them come sit in. And right now, I'm working with 3 victims to get them prepared to tell their own story instead of me telling their story. So,
which is important. And it's a healing process as well.
It's definitely a healing process, and they have to be helped by professionals. I'm not a professional counselor, so I make sure they get the resources they need in order to be back to the very life essence of life, of this thing we call life. So it's on Me Too. It's a program that covers the sex trafficking. It covers the teen dating violence, which is on a rise. It covers
dating violence.
Yes. Yes.
We're going to have her back. Just a snippet, but we're going to have her back about that.
There are teenagers that are getting beat up by their boyfriends and don't want to tell anyone because he may be a professional athlete or he may be the neighborhood drug dealer or he may tell them, I want 2 women and you're going to be number 2. So these relationships that teens are having right now,
please pay attention.
They don't even know what they're doing, and so the abuse is there. My ambassadors will tell you the stories of their friends who came with black eyes or scratches across their chest, and they're like, "What happened?" And she was like, "Oh, he tried to hit me. I hit him back, so we were fighting."
That's not okay.
It's not okay.
Women, we shouldn't hit men either, or young girls.
Exactly.
But it's not okay for a man to hit a woman.
And I'm glad you said that because there are some guys that I work with, and I tell all the girls that I work with, you too can go to jail if you try to jump on that guy. And
listen, state that one more time because we do have some women, young girls hit men.
These young girls. Some of them, they make the choice to put their hands on these guys. all the time. And I tell them you can be locked up for domestic violence or teen dating violence or intimate partner violence. That means if you're LGBTQ, whatever, you both can be arrested for violence or intimate partner violence. So they need to know. And I have one girl who's telling her side of the story because she was in my program for 2 years and she decided to beat up her boyfriend and got locked up.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Wow.
So, is there a 1-800 number, that a hotline or something? Because viewers, if you know someone that's going through, or you suspicious, if it doesn't feel right, contact someone.
If you see the signs, let somebody know.
It might look crazy or sound crazy to you, but nothing is never crazy.
Who should they call if they do see signs?
Yeah, 1-800 number or something.
They should call the 1-800 number for sex trafficking. Their crisis number would be the best number for them to call, or they could call their local law enforcement. I tell everyone, before you call me, call your local law enforcement. And there are other tips that I give that I just don't give to everyone.
Exactly.
But when they take the training, I'll tell them the steps to go through in order to get the story out and get help for that person.
Right. Wow.
So are there any other programs out there that someone can,
Well, I train a lot of, recently I did Department of Education and their counselors and DSS workers. I can be reached to come out and train your school, to have a training activity, teach you some self-defense. I do women online dating crisis because we have a lot of women who have been abused behind the doors, who don't want anybody to know that they were online dating. I do so many programs, but my website and my phone number, it's on me too, and that's ITSONME and the number 2.com. And you can request for me to come out and do a training. You can request to talk to me, and there is a fee for a consultation on a case because I help people out with regular criminal.
That shouldn't matter
cases.
when life is on the line.
Right.
When your life is on the line, no amount of money matters.
And how long have you been in law enforcement?
I've been in law enforcement for 34 years. I've been with my own private investigation firm for 12 years now.
Okay.
So she's
very
qualified.
Very qualified. So, well.
So we're going to wrap this up. Just say something that you would want to tell everybody out there about the sex trafficking.
The main thing and my main announcement to everyone is it's on you too. Yeah, law enforcement is supposed to protect you. The school is supposed to protect your child while they're at school, and your boss is supposed to protect you at work. But it's on you too to know how to protect yourself against different things, and I can help you do that.
That's for kids and adults.
Yes.
Kids and adults. Yeah, women and men.
So, wrapping up this edition of Ringside Rhetoric, we just want to say that parents, keep account of your kids.
Yes.
Know what they're doing.
Pay attention to the signs, phones, social media. And I know a lot of us, parents don't like to get on social media. You let your kids do whatever. No, be in your kids' business. Be on their Facebook, whatever you're using, Snapchat, Instagram, whatever.
They might call you nosy, but they'll thank you later.
Exactly.
Yes. And as you see that some sites are not as safe as you think. So privacy means nothing.
Exactly.
All right.
All right. So on behalf of DJ Steele
and Miss Charmaine, it's another.
We want to thank Chandra Cleveland-Jennings. We want to thank her for coming on and liking us.
Thank y'all so much for doing this. This is something that's really needed. And the more education we can put out there, the safer it makes for everybody else. So thank y'all so much for having that.
And we will see y'all next week.
Peace.
It's your man's DJ Steele along with Miss Charmaine. We're hitting truth in the face cause that's our claim to fame. We're gonna talk about the topics no one talks about. We gotta find us a solution to the problem we got. It's time to take it to the ring, let's get it on and pop in. We're strapping on the glove so we can get this thing rocking. Gonna keep it 100, that's as real as it gets. Now it's time to hit you with that ringside rhetoric.
dropping good topics so that you can relate. So take a backseat to the BS chatter. Recognize real on the topics that matter to our society. Let go of your pride. Listen real close as we take you ringside.
Heavyweight bout, hitting every topic's what the show is about. We hit 'em with a left, we hit 'em with a right. We got a KO, we on fire tonight. One topic down, now we're looking for some others. As long as God's first, the real will be uncovered. Body blow, headshot, then another body blow. Now that we have your attention, on with the show.